Hello, everyone. I know I didn't give anyone like any heads up that I was going live, like literally no one. So, my bad, everyone. Ooh. But listen, we're gonna be up, running, ready to go. Okay, good. Okay. All right. You are, yeah. I just started 45 seconds ago. Okay, so let's see. We have John, Whitney, No Name, BMC, hello. A different John, Pucho, Atheist, hey. And Green Gordon, hello. Hi, everybody. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, we're here. We're here. We're getting running. And going to get running. Alright, let's see. I need to do this. There we go. And then now everything. Hey Bishop, did you catch us on earlier? You gotta let me know if you caught us on earlier or not. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that, McGraves. That is actually really good to know that you enjoyed that. All right. Cool, cool. Let's see. Hi, Sky. Oh, okay. Well, Bishop, I encourage you to go like watch it. It'll be on Polly's channel, and I feel like you'll be one of the people that understands what we did there. Hey everyone, thank you. Um, so it was pretty cool. Oh well, thank you. Trying to think. I'm gonna call you Aldi. Numero uno. You got it. Got it. Sorry, guys. Hey, Tampa. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, Bishop. Then you'll have to put it in my server on if you understood it. Well, and I'll say this for everybody, and I don't say it often enough, and I know this, but I always encourage everyone to double check everything that I tell y'all. Always encouraged. I know I do put sources up, usually, but I encourage everybody to double check everything that I show, do your own research, all of that. Always encourage that. Should always look into things yourself. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I gotta replace them, to be honest, because my prescription's gonna run out. Hey, Casey. Hi, Zach. Hey, Cass. Cass, my favorite. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I always encourage it. Always look up my own stuff. I miss you, Cass. I miss you. Thanks, Natty. Oh, gosh. We're almost where I need to be. Let's see. Oh, that's all that means. Got it. Guys, don't forget to send your heart me's, and then don't forget afterwards to collect your points. Oh, that's awesome, Cass. I love that. Hey, Dan. Oh, awesome, Zach. I appreciate that. Truly appreciate that. Yes, Goku, we just got started. We're only 5 minutes in, maybe 6. 5 or 6 minutes in, so it's It's just chugging along. We're still new going on right now. Still getting it going. Hey, Aslan. Aslan, I made sure to give you the correct role in the server, so you should be able to see the other parts. Thank you, Cass. Congrats on the level up. I know, I don't normally get on at this time. I know. What question? Oh, yeah, I don't know how... I keep track of it on TikTok, and TikTok says I'm 6 minutes in, and TikTok is the one that I started the last, so... They just don't get it. They never get it. Aw, well thanks, Red. That's cool too. That's pretty cool too, guys. Alright, let's hit that. Parkers. Yes, there was that too, Parkers. I'm glad you saw that. I will have to send you a message later about that. I'm not sure about that one, Boogie, as far as like... If I do, it'll probably be about me doing art, but I also don't like putting that stuff out on the internet for obvious reasons. All right. I think we're good now. Let's see. I tightened this a little bit too much. I do, Galactic. That's an interesting comment. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Never, never, never.
Grow up, child. That was a total child that just wanted to call in and slur. That's gross. No, that sounded like a child to me, Dan. You know, I had turned it down earlier. Let's see. That should be good. That's about where I think I typically have it. Let's see. Yeah, I had turned it down earlier because it, they usually are, no name. I turned it down earlier because people said I was too loud. And I assume that was just his setup, so. Hi, how old are you?
25.
Okay, did you vote for Trump?
Yep.
And do you still support him?
I support the sort of Republican ideology, or particulars about the Republican ideology.
Okay, so you don't actively, like, actually support Donald Trump in his presidency. Got it. All right, thank you.
No, that would have been...
I have no idea. Hi, how old are you?
52. 52.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
What year were you born?
73.
Okay. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's your main reason why?
Well, I mean,
I believe it,
firstly,
Jazzy.
Hillary Clinton and Brennan came out today and they said that they're considering suggesting he wins the Nobel Peace Prize because of his talks with
No, they're not.
Putin and Zelensky.
What
Yeah,
did
that
Hillary
was
Clinton?
news
What did
today.
Hillary Clinton literally say? She said only if Russia faces consequences for their actions, and also they get no piece of land of Ukraine's. Do you
Hillary
have
Clinton's
selective
been.
hearing? Do you have selective hearing with that? Because they definitely put
I didn't
this
listen to
is
her quote
needed.
outright.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So you didn't even listen. You couldn't even be bothered to read it. Got it. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you didn't actually pay
Well,
attention.
well, I look. I read it from a third party source, but
Gotcha. So
I
you
didn't.
just are purposely misquoting it because you didn't really get bothered to read all of
Okay,
it?
I'll take a look at that if I was wrong on that. But I didn't like
You
the
are
way
wrong.
I didn't like the way Biden or Hillary Clinton, for that matter, were kind of escalating the tensions between us and Russia. They are a nuclear power.
I'm
That
talking about Donald Trump's current presidency. Like, it's fine if you bring up what Hillary Clinton just said yesterday. That's cool. But we're not, like, what are you talking
Okay,
about
well, I like
now?
the fact that I like that he's reduced immigration to statistically insignificant, illegal immigration to statistically
How do we keep track of
insignificant
illegal
numbers.
immigration? Can you tell me? Is there like a source where I can find the numbers of
Yeah,
specifically how many
the government takes records of that.
unauthorized immigrants come across the southern border? So you
The
said the government
government,
where?
according to government statistics,
Where?
about 12 to 15 million illegal immigrants migrated into this country under the Biden administration,
Yeah, where
which
can
is
I
about
find
10
that?
times the number.
Where can I find that?
It's all many sources. You got to do
Where?
a little research.
Give me
You got to do a
one.
little research.
Give me one.
You want me to get in front of my computer and do your research for you?
I figured you would
You're
like.
obviously pretty smart. You could do research. I can tell.
I'm asking you to give me one. Is it that difficult?
Okay, let me do your research for you
No,
and
it's
go
your
on Google right
claim.
now.
So I don't think you understand. You made a positive claim. It's actually your
Right.
job to prove it when
I
you
don't
make a
remember
positive
every
claim.
fact that I've read. I don't remember the
Oh,
sources of every fact I read in the last 10 years. I'm not Google. I'm a
I
human
mean,
being.
I'm not Google either, and I still remember stuff.
Good. I remember stuff too. I remember that gas was $5 a gallon at one point, which
That is
headed to
true.
6. That never happened under the Trump administration.
No,
I
but gas
remember
was still higher under Trump's first administration than it was under Obama's, even though he claimed that he had the lowest gas prices ever, and he beat Obama's prices, which isn't true. It was still averaging more than even under Obama's. It might have beat it in like a state or two, but on the average, it was still more. Yeah, we get it. Donald Trump lies.
Well, you know, you could talk statistics, but all I
I
know is
mean,
when I went to the
statistics
gas
are correct.
station,
All
when I
yeah,
went to
I
the
don't
gas
so
station,
I don't think you understand that I don't care about your anecdotal experience because it's not provable. And even then I prefer looking at the country average because that's actually how we get a real information on what it looks like.
well, okay, in my actual life experience, gas was going to insane levels. But moving on,
Again, I said I don't care. Do
inflation
you have that source yet?
inflation
Do
hit
you have that source
9%.
yet?
I'm not doing your research for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
But
it was your claim.
inflation hit
So
9.
it's not my research, it's your research. Okay, Joey. Yeah, basically, Brandon. Basically, that's usually how it goes. I'm sure he does. That's why I wasn't like letting it go on for long. I'm like, you said you were going to get in front of your computer and pull a source. Right? Exactly, Gordon. That's how that feels. That's how that conversation felt. Like, I'm like, yeah, trustmebro.com. Is that what it is, comic? Okay. Oh, thanks, Jose. It's not. It's not, actually. It's never that way. Well, Texas, it does does take some, I don't know, good number of patients. I don't know how to say that exactly. Hi, how old are you? Okay. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
I am 44.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did vote for Trump. It's funny because I was just watching your live stream and I was like, holy shit, you actually
Congrats
answered.
on
That's pretty cool.
Congrats on the level up, JC. Okay. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, overall, I'd say yeah.
All right. What's your main reason that you still support Trump?
Oh man, it's kind of multifaceted.
Just
He
number one.
ran for putting America first and deporting people who are illegally here, and I was, of course, for that.
Okay. So let's start there. America First kind of looks
Sure.
different to different people. So what does America First look like to you?
To me, we're our own country with our own culture, right? And that is Americans who live here putting America first. I think there's a problem with immigrants and assimilation here. People tend to bring their country with themselves here and want to replicate that. And I'm like, that's fine to a point, but it's like, if we just let everybody in and they don't honor our values and our culture and how things are done here, we're not going to have a country left. And it's being seen in Europe, which is unfortunate, right? And I'm not saying all immigrants are bad, not at all. And I mean, and it sounds hypocritical to a point because we're a country of immigrants, right? But it's a certain point, what happened with the open borders, right? When Biden was in office,
the
our
borders weren't
were
open.
open.
They weren't.
Yeah, they were.
They
Yes,
weren't.
they were.
Can you
Yes, they
point
were.
me? Can you point me to the exact executive order or piece of legislation that was passed that said wide open borders or specifically open the borders?
I can't point to that, but I work in
Because it
public
doesn't
safety.
exist.
I work in public safety, and I know Border Patrol people who work in that area, and it's
Awesome.
night and day.
So what you just did,
I'm not an academic. I'm just a blue collar guy, believe it or not. And
Okay.
It's not the laws that are in place, but Border Patrol was not fully supported under Biden. And I mean, Border Patrol will tell you that. I mean, anybody who's in any kind of leadership position in Border Patrol will tell you. They will say, "Hey, man, like when Biden was in office, we weren't supported. We were basically shit on, and now it's like they're given the tools, the resources, and everything else to actually do their job."
No. Yeah, so that's called an anecdotal story. So what we actually can find is where multiple heads of higher ups within the CBP spoke to varying in different agencies throughout, newscasters, right? They did interviews with different newscasters. So, for example, one actually spoke with Newsweek, and they told them very specifically that the border is not open and has never been open, right? So you can say that all you want, but it's also just categorically untrue. You can say that maybe they weren't supported in the way that you can. Well, that was your phrase.
Oh, 100% right, and I agree. I don't think maybe open. I 200% agree with you. I don't think open was the right terminology. I would call it unsupported to the point where the border was way more porous than it ought to have been.
Again, unless you can point me in the direction of an executive order or a memo or anything that specifically said, hey, we're not going to support CBP, when the only thing that we know that really changed in the difference between that administration and this administration is that the National Guard was sent there, which again, the National Guard cannot arrest people. They cannot detain anybody. The most that they can do is find them and kind of keep them in place without touching them while they wait for CBP to react or to come to them in order for CBP to detain them.
I see your points, right? And I'm not saying your points aren't valid at all. And I totally get it, right?
It's not my points. These are the facts.
Well, no, fair enough. But there's some other things that are a little bit, in my opinion, more tangible, but are harder to explain. For example, when you have somebody, who is the guy who was running Border Patrol under Biden? I mean, he was his absolutely ineffective leadership versus, I forgot the guy's name who's running Border Patrol now, which is effective leadership, right? And effectiveness
Can you
really starts from
quantify
the
it?
top down.
Yeah.
You know, oh man, you know what? And I do appreciate you having this conversation with me because I think we're both going to learn something. I think that I've been in different fire departments. I'm a firefighter, right? So I've been in different fire departments, right? And some departments, they have leadership that is just absolutely inept, ineffective. Things run like shit. And it's just how that department's run, right? And I have literally seen a department get a new chief, and it takes a little while to change course, but like the department would do a 180, right? And so that's essentially, I think, what happened with Border Patrol. They got a new head guy in charge, and it was running like better, like what it's supposed to. But who puts that person in that position? That's the president or the administration, right? So that's how I look at it, where it's like, okay, cool, we got whatever chief of Border Patrol. I mean, I don't work in Border Patrol, I work in fire, so it's a lot different, right? So that is, I think, what changed with Border Patrol is they got better leadership, and you know, leadership is top down. I mean, I think we can all agree on that, right? If you have some limp dick fuck up who's running shit, it's like the whole organization from the top down is going to get fucked, right? And that's just for me working 16 years in public safety, right? And I'm not trying to shit on anybody or crush anybody's dreams, like, oh, you can't come here, or whatever else. Like, I'm not that dude, right? And I'll tell you what, some people are like, oh, you're a conservative, you're racist. Like, look, dude, I don't pick my victims. You call 911, I'm going to come for you, and you're going to get the best care, whoever the fuck you are. I don't care, right? You know, that's how I look at things. But at the same time, when you have an administration that puts somebody in a position of power who doesn't do the fucking job, and I've seen it, right? And it's hard, you know, I mean, you sound like more of an academic than a blue-collar chick, and that's cool, but, you know, once you go through a department or two, and I've worked in other parts of government as well, so, you know, and that's just how I look at it, right? Now, I know you're going to say it's anecdotal, that's fine, right? But there's a difference between academia, and it's like, well, point to an executive order. It's like, I don't know, I've done this for a while, I can't, you know, I mean, I've seen it, right? And I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying that's how I see it.
Got you. So kind of just, you don't know exactly what changed, but thoughts and vibes?
No. I mean, if you have an administration or, you know, a part of government or, you know, any kind of agency, right? It could be health and human services, right? If you put an idiot running it, that's going to trickle down and it's going to degrade the whole agency as a whole, right?
Oh, what you mean, like
So,
now?
Well, so I don't 100% agree with that dude, that's for sure. So don't think I'm just going to jerk off Trump and RFK, right? I mean, there's certain things.
Okay.
I've worked in public health too, actually, before anything. And there's some things I do like about him. I like that he didn't take he took away a lot of additive shit, but there's some stuff I scratch my head on. I'm like, okay.
Okay. But at the end of the day, you really don't you're just not sure exactly how the border changed, just that in fact it did, and you're just going kind of based off of, well, the change in leadership must have had something to do with it. The laws themselves haven't changed, right? The policies themselves
right, but
haven't changed.
Here's the thing, right?
So,
but here's the, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You've been very, very kind, by the way, about hearing me out, and I do appreciate that. You've been super chill about that. The laws haven't changed, right? But here's the thing, right? If who's enforcing the laws, right? And that's the whole thing, right? If you're running Border Patrol and you're an idiot and you don't allocate resources and you don't run things well, it's going to be a shit show. And you know, I mean, gosh, I wish you could get the experience I've had in being in a good fire department, a bad fire department, an okay one, and how this top down thing that I talk about. And you'd be like, shit, I get it. And because you're a sharp young lady, I think you'd be able to articulate it actually far better than I could. I'm just a dumb firefighter, EMT, man.
I'm going to tell you what I told someone yesterday. Don't insult yourself. It doesn't do anybody any good, especially yourself.
You know what? I appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't think
Well,
anybody has a reason to insult themselves. You can say, "Oh man, I made a mistake." That's totally cool, but like, don't insult yourself.
I'll
You know what I
toast to
mean?
that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, it's
Absolutely.
just me trying to like. I tell that to everybody. I would tell that to somebody that I really don't like. Like, I would be like, Still don't need to insult yourself though."
Oh yeah, I mean you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I mean, a little self-deprecation. A little shows a little bit of humility, or sorry, humility.
No, I don't think so.
I mean a little bit, not too much. I mean the context. It was it was just kidding. I'm not really a dumb firefighter. I'm a good one.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. What was I gonna? Okay. So, while I can agree that obviously in any job, the change of leadership can either create a good outcome or a bad outcome, we know
Absolutely.
that by experience, most people don't quit their job, they would quit their bosses, right? Usually.
Oh,
That's
absolutely. Oh,
somebody's
100%.
like exit surveys usually say that people are leaving the job not because of the job itself, but because of the leadership that they were working under, right?
Right. Absolutely. But here's the other thing, right? So if me and you have a certain political belief, and most, I would say this. I'd say this is a really good, I don't know, maybe a good analogy, but I worked in public health for some years. And, I was, not, I would say I'm more middle of the road than anything. I mean, I like my guns. If you're gay, good for you. I used to work in a gay bar. I don't care. Those guys know how to drink and have the best cocaine. So I'm like, right on, right? No problems. Um, but I guess what turned me off about the left is, I'm working in public health, and I'm working in HIV prevention, and I'm crushing it. I care about people, and they're like, "You need to check your white privilege." I'm like, "Dude, we're here to stomp out HIV. What the fuck does my skin color have to do with shit?" And it's like that really turned me off to that whole sector of people, right? To the point where if you have an agency that the the majority of people are one political ideology, okay? They're going, that, like it or not, that is going to trickle down into how they perform their job, right? That's a police department, a prosecuting attorney's office, anything else, right? So I think that's why there's certain agencies, I've seen this because I'm from a very liberal city called Seattle. It's kind of ineptitude, I would call it. And we have a certain judge up in Seattle who habitually just lets people out of jail who have done horrific things, and it's backfired on her a few times. And I think that's a really good example of how political ideology gets in the way, and that can be left or right, right? I mean, I think there's some people that are way over on the conservative side. They're like, fuck, throw the book in them, right? Versus somebody on the left who's like, well, let them out, right? And I think what's missing is that in between, right? Am I making sense there?
What in between, I guess.
Well, like hard on crime, right? For example, this judge, she's super lefty, obviously, okay? And I'm not bashing any way, right? Left or right. She's like, we'll let him out of jail, but this person has like serious felony assault, running from the cops with a motor vehicle, stuff like that, right? And then something happened where this person was let out of jail on their own personal recognizance, and then they were let go of jail and then ended up killing somebody with a motor vehicle, right? I don't think that was a good idea on that judge's part, right? At the same time, somebody on the right is going to be like, nope, no bail, right? Maybe a dollar amount in between that would motivate that person not to commit crime, or, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like, don't deny somebody bail because, you're innocent until proven guilty in this country, right? But at the same time, if you're too far right, you're going to be too harsh. If you're too far left, you're not going to be harsh enough, right? That's what I'm saying.
Our current administration would kind of prove otherwise. especially when it comes to like sentencing and whatnot.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to any of that.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just know a lot of Border Patrol people and people in leadership positions and certain government agencies, and and I mean, I'm just like a local firefighter. I'm not like a dude who, I'm not running shit, right? But I have a lot of friends who I talk to, and I got a place here and down south, and so, Washington and Texas, and you just kind of, the political landscape in Washington and Seattle's different than Texas, right? It's different. And there's some things I think that a liberal state does really, really well. I think there's stuff a conservative state does really, really well. It'd be nice to maybe take the best of both worlds, right? But there's, and I'll leave you with this because I got to go get some Chinese food. Nobody in the political realm of things, and this is the most disturbing thing, it should concern everybody, right? You got the left who's like doing their thing, you got the right who's doing their thing. Nobody is sitting down and being like, look, fuck the bullshit. You think this way, I think this way. We still have a country to run, so let's figure out the best way forward and let's start going forward. It's just fucking tit for tat, and it's like a bad TV drama with the media perpetuating it. It's like, okay, we're not going to agree, but we still have to work shit out. So I think people's focus has gotten away from, okay, let's move forward. We still have to run a country. Things have to happen. Let's move forward. And everybody's siloed in their little political echo chamber. And that's bad because shit doesn't get done. Nobody moves forward. It's a perpetual cycle of futility almost, instead of a forward path of like, okay, and they say a compromise is both parties don't get what they want, but they come to the middle, right? Something like that.
Hi, Queen. Sort of.
I mean, if me and you aren't going to agree on everything, but we're going to have to make it happen and move forward, right? Right, but no one's doing that. Everybody's just fucking arguing.
I mean,
it's like, okay, that's stupid.
I would suggest to start with not saying that immigrants are required to assimilate in our country, because the actual bare roots of our country were about being a melting pot, meaning that people come together to share values or to continue to encourage new outlooks, new thought process with sharing different cultures. Our country wasn't built upon one specific culture. It was built on a culture of immigration and immigrants. And so therefore, I think it's kind of cruel to even say that people are required in any way, shape, or form to assimilate into our country. And I know I'm just circling it back to your first point, but
oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, our true bare bones of our country was about speaking out against the government, right? Declaration of Independence, the Dear John letter to break up with the United Kingdom, right? And being a culture of immigration and immigrants and different values coming together and meeting somewhere in the middle, which doesn't require assimilation. It's just opening your ears to other people.
I don't know. I think meeting in the middle is, I don't know. I don't know if that's a type of assimilation or not. But I will tell you this, okay? My views were formed. I have a very, very good friend of mine. We're still friends to this day. My best friend in high school. He's a Muslim guy, right? Super tall, handsome guy, just kicked ass on the basketball team. Great dude, right? And he moved here from Pakistan. And it's funny because my mom's Jewish, right? And I swear to God, our households were different, but they were absolutely the same. You come inside, you take your fucking shoes off. She cooked halal. My mom cooked kosher. Right? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, these two ladies, they kept the cleanest fucking house you've ever seen, right? And my mom and his mom, best friends, no problem. And he told me this, God, this is back in probably 1998. I know that kind of dates me. But he's like, the thing is, and he had the same thing, right? He's pro-immigration. He's an immigrant. He came in here. He did it the right way, okay? I mean, you'd ask him, and he has a British accent because he went to a British school in Pakistan, right? So imagine, I mean, dude's wild, right? Yeah, and he's a conservative as well. So I guess maybe assimilation isn't the thing, but if you're going to come in here, do it the right way. The border was a mess. Now it's way less a mess. Illegal crossings are hugely down.
No, we don't know that actually.
Yeah.
No. So you can say legal
You may
border.
not know that.
No. I
You
mean,
may not know that, but I know that.
Can you? Okay, no, you don't know that. Here's why. CBP only keeps track
You're
of
talking to a
3
public
things.
safety person who knows other public safety people.
And
like
your
that's,
appeal
that's
to authority
wild.
isn't going to go anywhere on this one. So CBP.
Appeal to authority.
Yes, it's a fallacy.
What is
It's a
that?
logical fallacy. You're basically claiming that you're speaking from a standpoint of knowledge because of the position that you work for, and so that's an appeal to authority, so that I should believe what you say because you work in this particular position, right? So, and that's directly relating to
No,
you.
I
But
just know, like,
let's be,
let's
and you
just
can
say
say that you know
conservatively, I
people,
know-
but I'm going to be
Right.
very clear on this. Customs and Border
Uh-huh.
Protection keeps track of 3 things on their website: encounters, apprehensions, and deportations. Nowhere on their website do they keep track of crossings or illegal crossings. They do not keep track of this because an illegal crossing means that it's an unknown, completely unknown, passing through the southern border. So we have no way of keeping track of those individuals because they are an unknown variable. It's an unquantifiable number. We are not able to track it, and therefore it's impossible to say that illegal crossings are down. You can say that due to the low number of encounters that we're seeing at the southern border, you can say that legal immigration is down. That is the only fact that you can actually say. We have no proof whatsoever that illegal immigration is down because that is an untrackable number that we've never been able to keep track of.
I think you're cherry picking because, I mean, here's the
I'm
thing,
not
right?
cherry
Like, if-
picking. It's just a true
think-
statement.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, in a fire department, we have we can broadly classify our call types, right? It's a fire-related call, like something's on fire, or an EMS call, or other, right? Now that's I said 2, but there's 3, right? So either something's on fire, it's something else, or it's a medical emergency, right? There is so much more that goes on in the spectrums of those calls than just the stats, right? Now, here's the thing: like, if there was like this nail salon, right, and everybody wants to go into this nail salon, and you want to know how busy the salon is, but you know 10 people who work in the salon in varying capacities, right? And you talk to them, you're on a group chat, you guys are chopping it up all the time, right? And they tell you this certain location of this nail salon, and they're telling, like, everybody from their different, position of whatever they do, they're telling you what's going on in the salon. I would call that human intelligence gathering, right? Or I don't know, what did you call it? A position of power or power something?
Appeal to authority fallacy.
Appeal to authority fallacy. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm coming to the conclusions I'm coming from, because I know people who work in the nail salon
Yep,
that's
still
super busy and people want to cross it. But that's, I mean, I don't know. I think it's anecdotal, sure, but any good reporter from a long time ago, it's like, well, you get your information the best from the streets, man. If you talk to the people who are actually doing it, right? And versus, I mean, I don't know if cherry picking is the right word, but it's like, well, these are the only things they're measuring, and it's like, totally get where you're coming from on that, but at the same time, you have to kind of look outside the box, and there's information sources besides that.
Oh, what you mean, like FAIR and CIS, which were literally founded by a gentleman that said that the only thing that he wanted to see, the only immigration that he wanted to see in this country were from Europeans, predominantly white countries. So he was a white nationalist that started those, because those are the sources that the Congressional Budget Committee were citing when the committee in Congress that they were using to cite primarily when they were talking about how many illegal immigrants came in under Biden's administration. They cited FAIR and CIS over 40 times.
I have no
It's okay. You don't have
clue
to know. I'm
what
just
that.
I'm
I
letting
have
you
no
know.
idea.
Like
I have
it
no
it's
idea.
literally coming from a guy that before he died continued to talk about the only good immigration coming into this country came from European countries, which is absolutely just And again, Customs and Border Protection keeps track of 3 things when it comes to their southwest border encounters.
I don't know.
Apprehensions, and deportations. There's no
I
way to
know.
really quantify any.
I
Oh,
get it.
Lala, your subscription just renewed. Thank you, hun. So like it's not an I get it either for that one, sir. It's just a fact if you go directly to their website. Those are what they keep track of.
I told you I don't know. Look, I work in fire. I don't work in border patrol, right?
I think your
I'm
Chinese
not a
food's
cop.
getting cold, by the way.
Well, no, I live above a Chinese place, and I'm telling you, it is fucking amazing. I mean, it is literally the best. Where you can get pho and bao at the same time. It's pretty rocking, dude. It's pretty fucking good. So I'm like, I got off work early, and I'm like, oh man, did some laundry, and here we are, right? And I was like, oh, you came across. I was like, oh, I'm gonna call her. We're gonna argue about politics, and here we are. I will say this though about assimilation and about a country, right? So we were founded in 1776 on the premise because the British pissed us off because they were like, hey, and the Brits do it now. They tax people with death, which is ridiculous, right? So the country's been going on for, I don't know, since 1776, and between there and let's say 30 years ago, right? I grew up in Seattle, right? And when I was 18, I lived on Capitol Hill, lived in the U District. I lived all over the place, man. And it was so much, I would say, better then. It was nicer, right? And this doesn't have to do with anything about assimilation or anything else, right? But what happened between 1998 and now, where the city is just littered with garbage, it is not the same place, right? And may I ask how old you are? I'm just curious.
30s.
30s? Okay. So for me, things started to really change and kind of go to shit in, let's say, 2014, when things just kind of got kind of out of handish and all the homeless camps and everything else. And I'm just curious, what do you think that is? And this is not like a politically motivated question. I'm just wondering. It's like, man, people were more fun. And I'm just gonna tell it how it is, right? I worked in a gay bar in 2005, and I worked security, and I was a bartender at a bar back, and it was like the whole political landscape was different, right? You're partying with gay people, lesbians, trans, all that shit. There was none of this kind of at each other's throat kind of thing. It was like, we're like, oh, right on. No, I'm not gay. Cool. Like some of my friends are obviously gay, and that's all fucking fine. But it's just, and even they're my age, by the way. They're, 44. And so it's a little different. They're like, I don't know what the fuck happened. We used to all have a lot more fun. And it's like the definition of fun has gone away. Like nightclubs are getting smaller and shutting down. People aren't drinking as much. The whole landscape of the social culture is more, let's protest, let's support these causes. And it's like in my day, we're like, yeah, let's go out and have fun, have adventures, meet people we never thought we'd meet and have fun. And I don't know. I don't know what your thoughts are, but the internet, I don't think has enriched us socially. Because back when I was working at Neighbors, man, I had a fucking flip phone, right? And an alphanumeric pager and a fax machine. And that was cool. And people were fun. And now, I mean, holy shit. It's just fucking weird now. People are just different. They're more wanting to argue and fight, and instead of like, dude, let's have a beer, do some coke, and fucking get to know each other, right? That's what's changed. I don't know. You tell me. And that's not a political question. That's just an observation from a older guy who used to go out in the world, and it was a lot easier to have a good time. And now not so much.
The internet
People are
changed
edgy.
us.
You think so?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the algorithms did it because you're constantly getting reinforced on your beliefs, and I think to a point where it makes people rigid. And I don't think that's necessarily good.
Yeah. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy your Chinese food, man.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna fucking tear that shit up. I
All
promise
right.
you that.
Have a good night.
Hell yeah. Hey, thanks for the chat, lady.
Yep. Bye.
Have a good one.
What does this screamer want in my chat? What do you want?
Yo.
How old are you?
27.
Did you vote for Trump?
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Do you still support him?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he's doing it great. It's exactly what we voted for.
Gotcha. 1 second, please. Guys over on TikTok, can we go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 in the next 14 minutes? That would be great. And let's go ahead and complete this live gift goal. That would be pretty cool, too.
You probably won't spend much more than this, but yeah, majority of America voted for him. He's doing exactly what we voted for him to do.
Why are you still supporting Trump?
Because he's doing what America needs. I mean, it's for the Americans.
Can you be specific?
Do you like America, or do you like all these other countries that you guys are?
Oh no, see, so I think it's hard for a lot of people to understand that yes, I can actually love my country and I can also okay. Do you have okay, are you capable of self-regulation? Are you capable of self-regulation?
You can sit back and watch.
I guess you're not. Okay. Okay. So here's what I was trying to say, is that everybody is perfectly capable of still being critical of the government while still loving their country. It's actually not difficult. I think it's the most American thing anybody can do.
What do you mean by regulation?
I didn't say regulation. WTF? Okay. No, he's not okay. That's the truth. Okay. So you are able to love your country and still be critical of the government. Did people forget that like the last 4 years even happened where the majority of people that voted for Donald Trump basically really hated Joe Biden, right? And so obviously we can tell that they also felt like they loved their country and they were still critical of the United States government. Did I blink and I missed that part? Like that happened, right? So it's perfectly possible to love your country and then still be critical of the United States government, because if not, every person that complained about Joe Biden the prior 4 years should have left the country. I don't know what's going on with that guy. And thank you, Jadzia, for the 2 jewels. Oh my gosh. Hello? I hope no one muted that account. Oh, well, y'all got him. Thanks. W mods. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
I'm here.
How old are you?
38.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did vote for Trump.
Do you still support him?
I do still support him.
What's your main reason why?
My main reason for supporting Donald Trump is because his administration prioritizes immigration in the legal way more so than the Democratic Party.
Can you tell me why that's wrong?
Did I talk to you yesterday?
You might have.
Oh,
You
then
started
I'm not talking to
running
you
away.
again. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Y'all are weird. Oh, thank you for the whale moose. Thank you. That's so cute. I love that. That's what I thought. It's just, listen, let's be clear. He learned that time. He learned to rephrase his statement that time. Because he did not say that last time. Hey, buddy, that just called in. Somebody went ahead and timestamped it for you from yesterday's live to show exactly what you said. So go back and watch it. It's one of the comments on the video. It's timestamped for when you said exactly how I was presenting it back to you. I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings that I corrected you on the way that you said things. But you learned, didn't you? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. How old are you?
I am 40.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Do you still support him?
Not everything he does. I don't particularly like him as a human being. But I do still support a lot of his policies. Up until this election, I had always voted for Democrats. I voted for Obama twice. I voted for Hillary Clinton the first time Trump ran. But after, Biden's presidency, I just couldn't vote again for another Democrat.
Yeah, okay. I mean, why do you still support Trump? I don't care about why you voted.
Well, I live in Texas. We had an explosion over the Biden presidency.
I don't care about why you voted for Trump. Why are you still supporting Trump 8 months into his presidency?
Let me talk,
7 months, sorry.
If you let me finish my sentence, I can tell you he has lowered immigration.
Legal immigration, correct?
Legal and illegal.
No, we have no evidence to show that legal immigration is actually down.
I work.
Another appeal to authority. Got it.
So,
of course you do. Because why not? Like, yeah. So you should know. Can you tell me exactly what CBP reports on their website and as far as Southwest?
You're worried about what people are reporting on their website instead of reality of what's actually going on the
got
ground.
it. So can you tell me what your job reports on your government website? Are you able to tell me that?
No, because that's not what I do.
Oh, so that's not what you do.
People.
So you never you never actually look at that?
Do you go on, well, I assume you don't have a regular job, but would you go on a regular job's website to check whatever numbers they're reporting? Like that, who does that? Nobody does that.
Yes, of course I would. What? Yes.
You don't live in reality.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Starbucks,
Statistics?
Starbucks website
Statistics
all the time
aren't reality?
what they're reporting. I'm talking about what's happening on the ground.
Oh, okay, right. So I just want to be clear. Statistics are not reality. So what I'm able to find. So
I don't feel that statistics are reality.
I can't talk to somebody that doesn't believe numbers. Have a good one. Oh my god. Facts are not facts, guys. Just a reminder. Facts are not facts. We have alternative facts now. We don't have numbers that we can find and look at them. Yeah, numbers are woke. Oh my goodness. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. How old are you?
I am 31.
Did you vote for Trump?
Nope.
No? Okay, well, I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a good night. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
I did, yeah.
Awesome. Do you still support him?
Yep.
Okay. What's your main reason for still supporting Trump?
I'm a Marxist-Leninist accelerationist, and I think that he is the only way that we're going to be able to see a revolution anytime soon.
So you want to see an end to the country?
I want to see an end to capitalism and the formation of a vanguard party that represents the interests of the proletariat.
So you don't care about people?
I care about people more than anyone else, I think.
Yeah, so what does your dream society look like? Is everyone taken care of equally? Is everyone given the same start? Or are they having to fend for themselves?
Yeah, I would advocate for a system in which the means of productions are collectively owned. I think eventually the government will be able to wiggle away, and there will be such an abundance of goods that we essentially live in a post-scarcity society, and those resources can be distributed equitably.
Gotcha. How far away
But
is that?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. That depends on a lot of different factors. I think it could be 100 years.
I don't think that would be about being a scientist, sir. Science wouldn't really have anything to do with coming to a realization of an ideological society based off of a socioeconomic construct like Marxism.
Well, Marxism is a philosophy that's also based in the science of economics.
It's also a socioeconomic.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. A socioeconomic construct.
Here is sociology and economic are both sciences. Are both sciences.
No, it's a specific field of study, but it's not necessarily science.
No, sociology is a soft science.
Still not necessarily science.
No, it literally is by the definition of the word. It is a social science, and so is economics. That is why I support Trump. I think he's doing a great job destroying the country. We probably agree on that.
Gotcha. So you're okay with, I just want to be clear, you're okay with millions of individuals being hurt and suffering in the short term?
I would think that millions of individuals are going to suffer regardless.
Just specifically within just within our country, right? You want to see a downfall of capitalism. You voted for Donald Trump to see an acceleration to the end of the United States government. So realistically, you would have to be in support of individuals coming through direct harm as a result of policies initiated by the Donald Trump administration in the short term, and you're perfectly okay with that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you're gross. I hope you do better. I'm not okay with that kind of attitude. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 18.
Sorry, I don't talk to 18-year-olds anymore because I just feel like a bully. I do hope you have a good night, though. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old are you?
Oh, 18.
Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
25.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Do you still support him?
I would have to say, unfortunately, yes.
Oh, okay. Give me just, do you mind if I just do a quick PSA?
Sure.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you. TikTok, I'm going to mute you guys real quick. You did great on the likes, so I definitely appreciate that as well. But 1 second. Thank you, Sion, for the 100, for the 2 jewels. I do appreciate that. Guys, if you do send a super chat over on YouTube, I do put it up on the screen for everyone to read. Same with sending a membership or becoming a member. We do have memberships available on the channel. It is the best way to support me to continue to do this every day and take a couple of hours out of my days. So just keep that in mind. We're also live on Twitch. Thank you for all the Twitch viewers as well, guys. It's a little hard to keep track of all the comments going on here, but you guys are just like, you did not like that first caller that we actually had a full conversation with. And I totally understand. So I do appreciate you guys. And we do have subscriptions available on Twitch too. The best part about subscriptions on Twitch is that you can actually become a Twitch subscriber if you have Amazon Prime for free. Isn't that an interesting perk? So go ahead. And Girl Gnarly, if you have to unfollow me on TikTok because I mute myself because there are things I can't say on TikTok, then that's a you thing. Go ahead and unfollow me. I'm so sorry that it somehow hurt your feelings. Guys, the next like goal is going to be 75,000 likes. If we can get that in the next 25 minutes, that would be cool. And let's go ahead and try to clear the next gift goal that I'm going to put up here. But let's keep tapping the screen and keep interacting. Don't forget to send your daily heart me. And after you send your heart me, collect your points. All right. Sorry about that. I don't do enough of them. Oh, and guys, don't forget to subscribe. We do have a whole contest going on, so don't forget to subscribe. Watch the first pinned video on my profile to get all the details. Sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off there, guest.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, guys, there's 600 people watching, only 170 likes. Everyone can like right now. Thought I'd help you out.
Sounds good to me, man. Thank you. All right. So, what is the main reason that you are still supporting Trump?
I would say at this point it is migration, finding an end to the Ukraine war, and monetary policy.
Okay, so
and also at least disrupting the current conservative political order.
Okay, so do we have an end to the Ukraine war?
No.
No? Okay. And do you agree with the fact that Donald Trump is now following Putin's lead on how he thinks what should occur next between Russia and Ukraine?
I don't think we have enough information to come to that definitive of a conclusion.
We actually do, because, right, Putin had been asking for the longest time, and this is public information, that he didn't want to do a ceasefire. He wanted a straight up peace deal with keeping all of the land that he illegally took, right? And now Donald Trump is saying he's moving back on seeking a ceasefire first and saying, let's just go straight to a peace deal. Now, he literally changed his tune from saying we need a ceasefire, we need a ceasefire, and we need a ceasefire, which he'd been pushing and pushing and pushing for since February of 2025. And then after just meeting with Donald Trump, we see within 6 months, everything's changed. After just meeting with Putin. Trump met with Putin, and then just everything changed.
Okay. So, I guess what I would say is, regardless if it's a ceasefire or a peace deal, something needs to change. And I think that was a lot more viable under Trump than under any other candidate. That's what I would say for my reason for voting for Trump.
I mean, I don't care about why anyone voted for him anymore. We're now.
Understood. I'm not sure if you're asking that from a do you regret your decision point of view. That's why I was kind of getting ahead of that. I didn't mean to.
I mean, we have evidence of 14 countries, foreign countries that have basically kind of turned their back on the United States because of Donald Trump meeting solely with Putin and leaving Zelensky out of the equation. And I'm sure they're going to definitely return to that ideology in regards to turning their back to him on what he just came out and said. They turn back on even him saying that, hey, Ukraine's gonna have to give up land, period. Like, he keeps saying that, right? Which is everything that Putin wants. So we saw 7 countries, right? Italy, Germany, the United Kingdom, Spain, Poland, Finland, and then the leader of the EU all write a joint letter standing up for Ukraine. And then we saw all 8 of the Nordic Baltic countries, minus Belarus because they're in Putin's pocket, come together for a joint statement as well and say, hey, we're not good with this. Ukraine keeps their land. So we have, again, like 13 countries all came together and said, this isn't the right way to go about it.
Okay, so then I guess it comes down to what is the right way to go about it. Do we give them another $100 billion? Do we give them another $200 billion?
No, the point is it's not up to us, sir. It's up to Ukraine. When Ukraine says they're done fighting, then they're done fighting. That's what it is. Thank you, Sparky the Juice, for your very first gift on TikTok. It's up to Ukraine on when they're done fighting, and when if they ever want to give concessions on their land, then that's up to them. It's not up to the United States of America. It's not up to Russia. In fact, the best way to end this war is to tell Putin to get the fuck out of Ukraine. That's the best way to end it, is for every country to come together and make the same statement. Russia leaves Ukraine and recognizes their internationally recognized borders that Russia agreed to leave be in 1994 when they signed the Budapest Memorandum.
And look, I understand you. I guess what I'm saying is, if we're going to give Ukraine money, and we're going to give Ukraine the plurality of the money of any country, at what point do we...
We're actually not even giving them the most money. We're giving them the most military equipment. But as far as money, that's not us.
Plurality of money, equipment. We're the plurality.
Well, money is different than military armament. Sorry, they're not... Money. Yeah, I understand that. But to me, those are two separate things, just like they're also cataloged separately.
You put up the plurality of wealth. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. Of
the
any
EU...
country.
Well, as in any individual country, right? But the EU, that's why I said any individual country. Yes, we've sent the majority. But as far as the EU, they've sent more overall total.
So what, should Putin meet with 14 prime ministers at the same time? Because I don't think he's going to do that.
Of course he's not, but why should we capitulate to him? He's a dictator. He's the one that's in the wrong here. He's the one that invaded another sovereign country. Why should we bend over to make concessions to Vladimir Putin, who is the one that invaded Ukraine through illegal means and also on fake grounds?
I don't think ending the war is a capitulation if it cedes some lands. I don't think that is
it is. Nope, because these are internationally recognized borders since 1991.
But at the end of the day, you have to understand the land.
What?
Like the gains are the gains.
No, it's not. We're in the year 2025. Yeah. We are in the 21st century. Why should we be okay with people keeping land that they conquered in the 21st century?
We shouldn't be okay, but we've done so much damage.
But we're going to let it happen. What damage have we done?
What damage have we done to them?
Yeah, what damage have we done?
That's not
our fault. That's literally Ukraine's fault. They are the ones that did that. Technically, Russia did it to themselves when they decided to invade Ukraine.
So, if I give a homeless man a gun or whoever a gun and they shoot you, I'm an accomplice to murder.
Well, that's because there's legal means in order for the sale of guns.
So, or if I give him a knife, and knowing that he is going to stab you, I'm an accomplice in that.
Oh, that would have to be having knowledge up front. But see, you're equating two different things. They're not actually the same thing. No. You don't get it. Hold on. No, you're still doing a false analogy. You're still doing a false analogy. It is a false analogy. It is a false analogy. What is the difference? What is the difference between war and a singular murder? What is the difference between a war and a singular murder?
One is more large scale than the other.
That's not it. So in the correct analogy would be that you gave the homeless person a knife to protect himself against me, the aggressor. That would be the correct analogy. You wouldn't be responsible for my unalivement then, because guess what? I would be the aggressor. I'm Russia. That's the difference. I think, see, that's why, again, it's a false analogy because it's not the same thing. We gave weapons and supplies to Ukraine because we had existing and outstanding treaties and agreements with them, treaties and agreements with Russia that Russia violated when they illegally annexed Crimea in 2014. And then they violated further when they're the ones that fully invaded Ukraine on February 24, 2022.
So
do you understand how your analogy was incorrect?
You know what? That is a fair point. I made a mistake. So I guess my point is we are where we are, and Russia firmly has 20% of the Donbass. And
it's not firmly. They're losing regions every single day, and you can say that they have 20%. They are like they're all making gains, and they're getting pushed back, and they're making gains in different areas. They are.
So go on deepstatemaplive.com.
Why would I go to a website that's called the Deep State? That just is weird.
Because it's a Ukrainian-run website from independent journalists, and they put
Gotcha. Why don't I just go to the Institute of International War Studies, where they're actually keeping track of everything that's going on?
You read my mind. I was going to suggest that if you didn't.
Yeah, I'm aware. I actually get news alerts from them on a daily basis because they update everything on a daily basis. And again, we do see that Ukraine is making gains, and then also Russia is making gains. They're both making gains and losses every single day. Yeah, they actually can. So no, if Ukraine is making a gain, if Ukraine is making a gain, then therefore Russia is experiencing a loss. If Russia is making a gain, therefore Ukraine is experiencing a loss, which is exactly why both things can be true at the same time. You can make a gain in one region of the Donbass or the Donetsk region because it's a very big region, and then you can also make a gain or experience a loss in the Donetsk region, which is the next one, all a part of the Donbass, but there are many different, that's a huge area. That covers 4 different areas of Ukraine that we just call the Donbass region. There's multiple regions within the Donbass. Do you understand how that works?
That's just, so overall, Russia is making more gains than Ukraine. This is just...
No, there's no proof of that.
There's no proof of this.
No, again... It's literally going back and forth all across the regions up there, right? And the thing that I think people are missing the most of, is the fact that Russia just doesn't want the land that they are currently actively occupying. They want the land that is recognized, like on the Ukrainian maps, as that full entire land, which would actually come to about 28% total of Ukraine. So more than a fourth of Ukraine, right? That they have zero control over, that other 8% that they want now to claim control over and be recognized as already recognized illegally in Russia's constitution.
Is getting pushed back in Konstantinovka. There are more areas where Ukraine is losing
ground. Oh, so you weren't listening to me at all, were you?
Because you interrupted me.
No, actually, you were interrupting me as I was talking, so that's why I just continued to talk to try to... Okay, so let's be clear. So again... Russia doesn't just want to keep the 20% of land that they are currently occupying. They want to take another 8% that they have no claim over, because that's the full Donetsk and this full Donetsk region, right? They want that entirely. They want cities that they haven't even touched yet, that they want to now claim ownership of because they already wrote it into their constitution illegally, mind you, right? So that's why we're talking about this. They don't just want that 20%. If they wanted that 20%, still wouldn't give it to them for one. But they don't just want that 20%. They want the 28% that, again, is going over 1/4 of what Ukraine's region, their borders are actually recognized as.
So I think we're getting so much into the weeds. I don't even really understand what you want the world, like the EU and the US, to do about it. Do you want us to send another $200 billion Do you want us to spend another $300 billion? Like, what exactly do you think is the end goal here for this 20% of land for Ukraine to take back? Or do we just keep donating
I've already said
money
this.
until-
Cool. I've already said this. You
That's
let
a little-
Ukraine,
that's a little-
you let Ukraine tell us when they're done fighting. It's the same thing
So
that
Ukraine
every
runs the
other
Ukraine runs the show, and we just keep giving them money?
Ukraine, it's their country that was invaded. Ukraine, if they are not able to come to an agreement themselves with Russia, then Ukraine is the one that decides when they're done fighting, because they were the country that was invaded.
So how much
Every other NATO country understands this. We are the only country that doesn't understand that we let Ukraine, which is a sovereign country that was illegally invaded by Russia, that ignored internationally recognized borders and decided to go into another country, regardless of the fact that it was in fact illegal and it was in fact an invasion into another country. We let them decide when they are done because it is their soldiers fighting and not ours. We don't give concessions to the person or to the country that committed the illegal act in order to come to an agreement here, because they were not supposed to invade. They should have honored the agreements and the treaties that they signed over 30 years ago at this point. They need to leave there, or unless Ukraine says, okay, we'll surrender parts or whatever, you let Ukraine make the decision. In no way, shape, or form should the United States ever make decisions on behalf of Ukraine.
So is there any financial barrier? Say you're dictator of America. You have all three branches. You can do whatever you want. There's no financial barrier.
No, we don't have kings here.
I'm just saying hypothetically, all right, you're the president, you have House, Senate, firmly your control, everything in your control.
Again, we still have 3 separate branches of government. We do not have kings here. We do not have dictators.
I just said you're the president with all branches of government.
And we still don't have a dictator in this country.
Okay, hypothetically, if you could just make this decision at the snap of your fingers, is there any financial barrier? It's a hypothetical. Is there any financial barrier that you would say, you know what, this is where we need to start realizing the gains are the gains? Or not? Like, how much money would Ukraine have to ask before you say, you know what, that is enough?
They can ask all they want, but there's no guarantee that the United States government is going to give them. I'm not saying that we should guarantee them any dollar amount. Do I think that we should continue to fund them? Absolutely. But that's not my personal decision. That's mine. Or that's currently the sitting government.
For your point of view, I can't really discuss what I think if I don't even have a clear idea of what you think. So I'm just trying to see what you think so we can see exactly like where enough is enough. Because I'm at my point where enough is enough. We have to come to the negotiating table. But I want to know what you think enough is enough. If this war carried on for another 10 years and it cost us $500 billion or $1 trillion, would you, if you could make that decision, would you make that decision to fund $1 trillion?
Yeah, dude, I actually would. Do you want to know why? Because it actually comes out of the DoD budget, which is the one of our biggest budgets that we have, aside from Social Security and Medicaid, is the DoD, the Department of Defense. And even then, everything that we've sent to Ukraine has only made up less than 3% of the entire DoD budget itself, which means that it's less than 1% of the entire budget of our government every single year. So, yes, it's a drop in the bucket.
I'm sorry. You cut out. Can you say that again? So the DoD, so DoD is what percentage?
Any foreign aid spending, foreign military spending, so like spending that we sent money, or equipment that we sent to Taiwan, Israel, or Ukraine, all comes out of the DoD budget. all of Ukraine specifically makes up less than 3% of the entire DoD budget for all of the years that we've sent anything to them, which again makes up less than 1% makes up less than 1% of the overall budget of the United States government every single year. And I seem to recall a lot of Trump supporters complaining about USAID, which makes up 0.7% of the entire government budget. 0.7%. So I think if we say that Ukraine is 0.8%, well, then I guess that 0.7% of USAID can go to make up the difference for Ukraine.
And do you think at any point us giving so much arms and money puts us in a disadvantage for geopolitical conflict?
No, because we're giving them the majority of what we're giving them as far as military armament is equipment that's has already been replaced for us and is set to be decommissioned, which costs us money to do as well. So we're just making money off of the sale of the equipment and then also getting new equipment. It's actually spurning on our military industrial complex, as people love to say that phrase.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we fundamentally disagree that there's a cutoff point with how much funding we're going to give Ukraine. I'm not sure.
Sure, because I also don't support if we've already seen this, right? When Donald Trump cut off our intelligence sharing to Ukraine for about a week, that Russia launched one of their largest attacks since the beginning of the war on Ukraine during that time, which resulted in the unalivement of over, I believe, 80 innocents. So civilians, right? Over 80 civilians, because they don't attack military targets. Russia, when they're sending out their drones, mostly they attack cities and they're attacking civilians, right? So yeah, I don't agree with the innocent civilian unalivements on the results because of Russia's attacks. Where we know the opposite doesn't hold the true. Ukraine, the majority of their strikes are over strategic areas and they avoid cities for the most part. I'm not saying none of it has ever hit a city, because most certainly they have, but they typically avoid cities and they go for strategic military strikes on their supply chain, or for example, like there are other ways that Russia makes money, like their oil depots. Right? Whereas again, Russia is specifically targeting cities.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Which is a war crime, which is also why I say that Russia needs to leave and that we should never make concessions to the bully in this instant, because they've committed war crimes. We already know that they committed psychological torture on their POWs, which is also considered a war crime.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there.
And we know that they've committed a type of ethno-cleansing within Crimea after they took it over, specifically on the religious side, where they made being Muslim illegal, practicing anything other than the Catholic faith to actually be illegal. Right? In the Crimea region, their native people, their indigenous population, which are the Tatars, are actually Muslim. So they specifically went after the indigenous population of Crimea, and therefore were committing ethno-cleansing, which again is a war crime and is recognized, right, by the Geneva Conventions to be categorically incorrect. So why on earth would I support giving concessions to a country that is actively committing war crimes as a part of their attempt to take over territory and committing ethno-cleansing?
Yeah, so I think that, again, pragmatism has to come in the way and say, they firmly have 20%. You're probably not going to lose that 20%.
Really? Because it's gone up and down throughout this entire war.
It hasn't, but
it has, because it has because just in December they had less than 18%. Sure, yeah, because you don't believe facts, apparently.
No, because if you look at the map, Chasiv Yar is in Russia's hands. Pokrovsk is surrounded and is probably going to get withdrawn
Oh,
from.
surrounded, got
More
it,
likely
yeah.
than not.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I mean, anyone can Google this right now. Pokrovsk is surrounded from the southwest to the south, to the southeast, to the east, to the northeast. It's surrounded. And there's only one MSR. Are you familiar with an MSR?
Continue.
MSR. Are you familiar? All right, so...
Just continue.
Please stop being rude. I think I'm not being rude to you.
If me asking you to continue is being rude, then I don't understand. No, it's not while you were talking. You were asking me a question and I was encouraging you to continue. Okay, I won't say anything now. Thanks.
I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying when I throw an acronym before I continue on, so we can have a shared understanding. That's all I'm trying to do. So they have one MSR that is being approached from the southwest flank, and in order to avoid another Mariupol, if Ukrainian defense forces have learned from Mariupol, they would know to withdraw the forces now. So Russia's probably going to take that city before year's end. Same thing with Chasiv Yar. Most Chasiv Yars are taken, if not already taken. Ukraine has lost all their foothold in Sumy, and Sumy city is now under siege. So, so there's no... to say that it's going back and forth just simply isn't the case. There's been over 100 square kilometers taken by Russia over the last year. The initiative is in Russia's hands, and the manpower advantage, weapons advantage, so on and so forth, is in Russia's hands. And yeah, I don't see a viable way out of Ukraine taking back that 20% land. So I think it'd be wise to encourage them now to stop before they lose more of their country, and before we waste more of our money giving them funds that they have no chance.
Yeah, see, I guess here's where we have an inherent disconnect, is I don't consider allowing a country to maintain their sovereignty as long as they want to continue to fight to be a, quote, waste of funds, like you. Protecting their population or the millions of people within their country that would be displaced because of the territory that Russia does not hold, that they are claiming to hold. Again, they want an additional 8% of the territory that they don't have any hold over yet, right? So, yeah, displacing millions of innocent Ukrainians that aren't currently under Russia's control, I don't consider that to be a waste of money, but I see that we have a different view of humanity here, so good job. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old are you?
Well, I mean, some people say like I might be 29.
Oh, so you're not 29. You're probably not 18. Got it. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello? Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
Ooh, you're a kid. Go play a game. Thanks for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How old are you?
38.
Did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Okay. Do you still support him?
Absolutely.
All right. Give me just 1 second, okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Really quickly on TikTok, I'm going to mute you guys real quick. All right, just a friendly reminder, guys, over on YouTube, don't forget to hit subscribe. Also, we do have memberships and super chats available on the stream as well. If you feel so inclined, it does just help me continue to do this every day, and it does go right up on the screen. Also, over on Twitch, we have subscriptions available too. You can actually get a free subscription through your Amazon Prime if you chose to do so. Subscriptions and memberships are the best way to help support the channel. So I do appreciate you guys ever so much. And back over on TikTok, if we can get to 75,000 likes, you missed the mark, I'll give you guys 5 more minutes to go ahead and get on up there. And don't forget to hit the red follow button up at the top of the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Again, it is the best way to help support the channel is through subscriptions. And also it enters you into a contest. All right, so caller, what is the main reason that you still support Trump?
He's a pragmatist. In my lifetime, I feel like there's never been a more exciting time to live. I believe if you have a meritocracy, just in my lifetime, what I've observed is life is better when you have an environment that allows people who work harder to be more successful. If everybody starts from the same place and everybody has the same things regardless of how hard they work, we find ourselves in the same world that we were living 3 years ago.
So what you're saying is you are against equity?
No, I'm not against equity at all. I'm against earned equity.
Can you define equity?
I guess in relation to social equity, economic equity.
Nope, just the word equity.
Fairness, opportunity, value.
Nope.
Based on Are you looking up Webster's dictionary?
No, dude, I'm laughing at a comment right now. Like,
You
my
believe in
hand is
equality of
on the
opportunity?
mouse, and my other one was in my lap. If I'm typing, you can hear me when I type.
I don't think anyone can hear you type on a phone.
Dude, my phone is actually occupied on TikTok.
So do you believe in equality of opportunity?
Is that the word you were trying to get? Was equality and not equity?
It's a question.
No,
You
I
believe
mean,
in
is that
equality of opportunity?
is that the word you were trying to get was equality and not equity, because they're not the same thing?
Oh, I understand they're not the same thing, but you didn't answer my
Gotcha.
question.
No, I support equity, sir. Because at
Well,
the
that's
end of the
great.
day,
So are you in a
equality
better
comes
situation
with
today
equity.
than you were 3 years ago? Are you in a better
No.
situation today than you were 3 years ago? Why not?
Mm-mm.
You live in the greatest country in the world with the greatest president, and you're on YouTube complaining about your situation when millions of people around the globe are starving, and you're not in a better situation than you were 3 years ago.
No. Also, I would disagree. I would disagree.
How?
Sorry, you made a bunch of claims that I'm going to refute real quick. A, we're not the greatest country in the world.
Why?
Greatest, why? Again, so I'm going to continue this, and I can circle back to that if you want. But A, we're not the greatest country in the world. B, we don't have the greatest president ever in the world either, or even in history. 147 historians would disagree with you. They placed Donald Trump in the bottom 3 just from his first term, right? So I would inherently disagree with you there. Yes, I live in the United States of America. I love my country, and I believe that it's actually the most American thing I can do is speak out against or hold my government accountable for the actions that they take, right? Why would I say that we're not currently the greatest country in the world? Because I don't believe that we should ever take away health insurance from anybody in this country that has earned it or cannot work or whatever it is. I believe that the government is here to take care of the population of the United States of America and not just make them work until they die.
Make them work until.
Are you still there?
I am.
Sorry, I just heard my
I'm
own
just
voice
listening.
come through.
I apologize. I'm just listening.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, so
You made some great points. Would you like for me to address those now, or are you continuing?
not even sure what you're gonna say. Like, see, because at the end of the day, these are going to be a differing of opinions. Because even if you say like America's the greatest country in the world, greatest on what spectrum? We have the number one cause of death in our country to be guns. Compared to that, we have literally the most gun deaths out of the entire world in the United States of America. We are the number one. Also, and other people dying. Like, so we also have the number one homicides in the country, in the world, in which we're not even the biggest. We're not even the biggest population. Not even the biggest population.
A lot of the countries in the world do not have the technology to track the things that we have the ability to track.
Oh,
because they don't have the wealth and the ability to track those things.
Oh, what about just over the G7 countries?
See, here's the problem. I feel bad for you. You're the result of indoctrination of propaganda.
Oh,
when
propaganda.
a lot of money pours into the media system and a lot of money pours in from China into the university system to teach people, this is what you get. You get this sense of I deserve this, that I'm meant to be here and holier than thou and woe is me. Oh my gosh, this is horrible, but yet I have 600 people watching me. I'm making money from YouTube. I'm living in air-conditioned space. I do not have to worry about where my next meal is going to come from, but yet you're talking bad about a president in a country and a situation. Well, take that back. You didn't say anything about the country, so that's an incorrect statement. But Donald Trump, you don't support Donald Trump. He's a pragmatist. There has never been a more exciting time to live. There is no propaganda. There is no, if the man takes a stance, you talked about it earlier that he'd switched gears and that he had been for something and he changed his mind. That's a great thing. When things aren't working, when you're in a country where things aren't working and your strategy isn't working and it isn't good for people and you realize it isn't good for people and you change because you're a pragmatist, that is a good thing. You are concerned about the outcome. You're not concerned about your position. People who are egomaniacs, like everybody talks about on this chat that support you, that think Trump is some egomaniac, no. People that are egomaniacs, they don't change their position for the betterment of people. They stick to their guns, right or wrong. And I'm sick and tired of being under a regime in a country that sticks to their guns because it's for the betterment of the party, not the betterment of the people. If everything was so great, there wouldn't have been so many votes by people who are not citizens, and there'd still be a landslide vote. We're supposed to live in a democracy where the people have a voice. The people are the ones who decide. Well, the people decided when they voted what was best against all odds, against all the problems that we had. And yet, here we are debating about Donald Trump. How am I wrong?
In so many ways. So many ways. Whew. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. The most American thing anyone can do is speak out against their government or speak out against the governing body or just be critical of the United States government. Were you or were you not critical of the government when Joe Biden was president, or did you just trust in the president?
Well, first of all, I think the most American thing
No,
you can
this
do is
is-
fight for your country, not stand out against your country. But I will answer your question. And to answer your question is, yes, I very openly was against all of the things that came as a result of such corrupt administration.
Got it. So let's be clear, you're not very American yourself then, because you spoke out against the president of the United States. How absolutely dare you?
So the First Amendment affords me the right of freedom of speech.
Oh,
un-American?
got it. Great. So what I'm doing right now is also freedom of speech.
No, I appreciate what you're doing, because at the point where someone limits your ability to do what you're doing, they can also limit the ability of what I'm doing.
Literally, Puggles.
I very much stand up for your ability to have your opinion. I just feel your opinion is wrong.
Thank you, Tara. Yeah, I know. That always happens. It always comes out that way. Thank you guys for the poly raid. Thank you, JC.
I truly appreciate what you're doing in an open platform.
Yeah.
I just think our disagreements are integral to what's wrong with this country.
No, our disagreements is
the ability. You wouldn't even have the ability and the luxury of having these disagreements on such an open platform if the world was the way that you portray it.
Oh. See, I always find it very interesting when anybody says that we're like the greatest country in the world, and then instead of actually comparing us to the other industrialized nations, which would fall under the G7, right? They always go to countries that are not as industrialized as us, that don't have economic partnerships, and they go straight for countries that would be considered like third world countries or anything like that. Also, welcome in, Poly Raiders. As you are coming in, don't forget to send your daily heart me and then collect your points. Don't forget to hit that red follow button up at the top of the screen, and most assuredly don't forget to tap the screen as well, and don't forget to subscribe, because we are all in here together. But do you see, like, when I asked you specifically about comparing us to the other G7 countries, you went to other countries that are less industrialized than us to compare us as the greatest country in the world. If we look at other countries that are actually better than us on several different metrics, as far as freedom, the United States doesn't even rank number 1. We're in the bottom of the top 10. We're at like number 9. We have other countries, specifically like the Nordic countries, that rank higher than the United States as far as freedoms that are afforded and how free they are and things like that, and then how well they are, right? How well they are run and everything like that. Again, they rank higher than us. As far as equality, other countries,
Give me one example.
Yeah, are you?
You're name the country.
Finland.
Finland. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what's the population and GDP of Finland?
Oh, are we going based off of that?
Okay. No. I just want to compare. If we're going to compare apples to apples, we can't take someone with the GDP of a small town in Texas and compare it to the GDP and the size of an entire country.
Got it.
If you're a company with 3 employees, you're more nimble. You can make a decision and you can change things overnight. But if you're huge and you have thousands and millions and tens of millions of employees, you can't filter things out. You're not nimble. You can't make changes overnight. Are there other countries that have attributes that are beautiful and that are positive that we could mold ourselves after? Absolutely. But that country as a whole, you cannot compare Finland to an America. And if we were to compare Finland to an America, what did Finland do during COVID? And is that the type of regime you want to live under? What did they do? What was their response during COVID, or do you remember? Would you like for me to remind you?
Oh, so you specifically know exactly what you specifically know one country out of 196 countries, you specifically know exactly what Finland did. I think it's very interesting. I think it's very interesting.
I also have access to AI.
AI is not a source.
Okay. Well, Google statistics. What source would you like to use that's not funded by a globalist elite system that is
Oh,
run by
you mean like the
propaganda?
deep state? Is that what we're going
The
off
what?
of? Are we talking
The
about the
deep
deep
state?
state? Thank you,
No, we're talking
Pat,
about
for
factual. The
becoming a
world
member. Wait, did you
The
send out
world
memberships?
observed what Finland did during COVID. It doesn't take access to AI or access to Google or factual results. Everyone was at home watching their screens because they had nothing else to do. So
Sure.
remind me, how did they respond to COVID? And is that the type of country you want to live in? In hindsight, we're all human beings. We're flawed. But no one can argue if you're a student of history that pursuing hedonistic pleasures, we see where that leads countries. Where does it lead them? What happened to ancient Greece, the fall of Rome, the Roman Empire?
Wait. I just want to be clear that we have a
departed from their
student of
moral
history. We have a student of history that wants to talk to me about history and historical stuff, and he didn't even know. He couldn't even define what equity was. He didn't even know what it was in any way, shape, or form. Couldn't define it.
Equity
And then
means a
instead
lot
he
of
went
different
over.
things.
He went
Equity can
over and he
represent
went
a
over to
stake in a
talking about
company.
equality because he
Equity
didn't
can
know the difference
represent
between
a
equity and
value.
equality, and that they're
Equity
actually
can
not the same
represent
thing.
stock.
Thank you
Equity can
so much,
represent
Polly, for
ownership,
sending out
partnership, and
5 gifted members. So 5 subscriptions. Sorry, since I have to be friendly with TikTok and all of this stuff. Yeah, does that need to be a bingo dob, Allie? I feel like maybe that should be a bingo dob. But I just again, it's just so interesting that
means a
somehow
lot of
this
different
is where
things.
this came to. That he is a student of
That's
history, but he
semantics.
can't
If you
even
wanna
give just
argue
the
over
basic
semantics-
definition of the word equity. He went over to equality, not even realizing that they're anywhere near the same or anything like that. Like, what? I don't actually understand what's happening. Similar enough that he was unable in any way, shape, or form to even compare us to another industrialized nation. And yes, guys, I'm aware that when I said Finland, that they're not actually a part of the G7, but I also did not only talk about G7, I said, how about an industrialized nation? He still didn't give me one. And then instead of actually contributing on the merits on why a country like Finland, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland would actually be considered more free than the United States of America, he says it's not comparable or not comparable because of the GDP and their population size. Well, if that's the case, then I would love for someone like him to explain to me why, if it's not comparable, and let's see, like, that I'm sure he's also somebody that would believe that universal health care is impossible to achieve in the United States of America because it would cost too much money, which I always find very funny for anybody to say, because we have countries like China and India that have over 1 billion in their population, and they offer their citizens, they don't offer, they have universal health care for their citizens population, and yet they have a smaller GDP than the United States of America, but have more than triple the population size. But I'm sure that still, let's just say that universal health care is financially irresponsible, completely useless, impossible to have in the United States of America because it just costs too much money. But we can't compare it because they have a lower GDP than us but have a higher population. It's so interesting for anyone to say, like, even China, which is basically a dictatorship, has a universal health care for their country. That's actually insane. But hey, it's okay, man. The United States is definitely the greatest country in the world, according to guests, even though we don't even offer basic amenities to our citizen population, which is why we're actually not ranked number 1 in the world as far as happiness. We're not even number 1 for education. We're nowhere near that. We are number 1 for, again, like I said, gun deaths and homicide rates in the United States of America. But I guess we shouldn't compare us to any other part of the country, right? Because we have like this highest GDP and have population sizes that are greater than other countries. So I guess we should just stop comparing us to any other country at all, because the GDPs and population sizes are different in every other country in the world. So Therefore, it's actually just going to be, impossible for us to compare to any other country in the world, regardless of size, regardless of religion, regardless of ideology, because it's just totally different the entire way. It's just automatic, it's just how it works. It's just completely different. Just can't compare us to any country. So therefore, we should never even make the claim that we're the greatest country in the world. We're not able to compare it to any other country because while we only have 333 million people in the country, we have the #1 GDP in the world. So I guess it's just not comparable because they'll never compete with us on a GDP scale. So, but if we actually took out California, which as a state on its own is the 4th largest economy, the 4th highest GDP on the world ranking. So if California somehow was to become their own country, we would lose our standing on as far as GDP. I think fall to like right above them, maybe being #3. And they would have a lower population. So I wonder what that would mean as compared to the rest of the country. It's very odd. So we should never even compare states, right? Because every state has a different GDP, has a different population size, has all of that stuff. There's no way at any way that we have any metric of measuring this. And I feel like this guest, since he says that he's a student of history, should understand that there's actually such a thing called per capita. And if we're looking at, again, like happiness ratings that their citizen population gives out for like their country overall, and again, the United States isn't anywhere even in the top 10 as far as happiness ratings, then I guess we should just ignore the citizens of the United States who say that they're not happy here and that they don't consider the United States to be free either. I guess that's just the way that it should go. So we should never, ever, ever compare us to anyone in any way, shape, or form. Oh, now it's the media, fake news, guys. It's always fake news. The media is controlled in every other country. It's just very interesting. The media is controlled. I guess we don't even have free media here. If that's the case, then I would say that we actually have a regime under Donald Trump right now. And so therefore, I should never believe anything that's put out in the media or even put out, let's say, any news program. So that includes like Fox News, Donald Trump's like favorite TV show ever to call in and watch or anything like that. Like, yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's actually kind of funny. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate that one. That and as far as you, Liquor, did you say that when Joe Biden was president? Did you leave the country when Joe Biden was president? Because I'm pretty sure you considered it to be like the worst country ever then too. So, it's just really weird. We don't have any basis of ever, comparing ourselves to any other country. Per capita doesn't exist. I forget about that. I'm sure he's not understanding what is that what he just said, Chris? That's hilarious. Fox News, guys. Fox News is not biased at all. Let's be very clear. Fox News isn't even registered as a news company. They're registered as entertainment. When Fox News was sued for lying, like outwardly lying to the country, to their fan base, they actually told people, they said it in court, that nobody should actually believe what they say because they're not even Fox News. They're Fox Entertainment. That's what their licensing says. They don't have a license to report the news. It's very interesting. But hey, Fox Entertainment, guys, is not biased at all. That's interesting. That's a new one for me.
Okay, name for me one Democrat.
And they settled out of court for that. It's great. Yeah, you know what? That's true. People should travel abroad. I'm not sure Guess has ever left his own state, and it's kind of evidenced by the way that he's talking and the way that he's crashing out. He says he's a student of history, but again, doesn't understand that there's a difference between equity and equality, and thinks that we can't just define a simple word of equity. Just give a definition of one single like equity by itself. He had to break it down to the minutia. He needed it to be a specific type of equity, and he couldn't just define the word in any way, shape, or form by itself, which of course is always telling. And then that's why he went to the word equality, forgetting that they're actually not two different things, right? Yeah, I know he is. It's okay. Yeah, like Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, okay. Fox News, guys. Fox News. Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh-huh. Never left his hometown. Yep.
Oh, super chat! I love it. Donald Trump sucks. This country sucks. But it affords me the
Thank you,
ability to
Dagger,
make
for the
all this
20.
money.
What did Dagger say? Let's see what Dagger said exactly.
Dagger said it's stupid. That's what Dagger said.
Let's see.
Dagger said, make some more
Dagger
money,
said,
competitive
why are the
with
MAGA
country that
fucks so angry and just want to yell at you? Just look at Fox saying on love on air. What's up, my Yahtzee to each other? But yeah, they aren't biased at all. Yeah, that's right. They say Yahtzee is going to be them reclaiming the word, similar to like someone of the black community saying the N-word with the hard R. Yeah, they said that on national television. Very interesting, but hey, they're not biased at all. They don't just bend over backwards and capitulate to Trump in any way, shape, or form. They don't say anything bad about Trump. It's very interesting. I'm not sure what you scrolled into either. I mean, I really don't know. Guest doesn't believe in per capita. Guest doesn't believe in that the United States can afford universal health care, even though we have the #1 GDP in the world with not even that big of the population, right? Again, I'm going to reiterate the fact that China and India have universal health care for their population, and their population size is over 1 billion. But hey, right, they don't even have the GDP that the United States does, right? Because I understand that the United States is the #1 in GDP compared to the entire world. But we don't offer our citizen population universal health care. See, that would be a form of equity, sir, by giving everybody access to the same stuff. That would actually be equity, giving people the ability to come up on their, like, the same footing or equal footing. Well, not equal footing, but giving them the exact same opportunities. That would be equity. I don't think that I've actually berated him except to say little things while he's been there crashing out and yelling over me the entire time. How about you ask the guest to actually have some level of professionalism and not be yelling over me or screaming or using a mocking voice, which I haven't used on him the entire time, or denying statistics and claiming that everything is a lie or being the deep state. I'm going to go with what Pat says and saying caller's going full supernova, but I'm sure that the other commenter wouldn't know, but thank you for the 5 just to say that. Yeah, guests could just have some self-respect. It's very interesting that anyone would, like, you know, do any of this, just continue to scream or go out. I'm actually talking extremely calm. I'm just sitting back and kind of enjoying the show, the ride here, while guest is just absolutely losing his mind because God forbid a woman is talking.
True. Fair enough. Fair enough. I apologize. I get a little heated because I'm passionate about our country. So I apologize. You have the right to talk. I just feel like the fundamentals of what you understand is wrong. Donald Trump is a flawed human being. Name for me one individual that's human that's not flawed. Why do we care so much about his private life? If he
Did I say anything about his private life?
On this planet.
Interesting claim.
So why do you hate him so much? If he were anybody else on this planet, he would have won 20 Nobel Peace Prizes for the things he's done.
I already explained why I didn't like Donald Trump. I guess you weren't listening throughout all of that.
No. I heard it. I just don't get it. I don't
Oh,
understand
so do you agree with stripping people off their health care in the United States of America? Because, see, from what I understand, the way that the Republican Party typically works is they accuse one person of cheating the system, so then they take away. So 1 person out of 100 is cheating the system, so let's take away health care for the other 99. That's what the Republican Party just did with the big, beautiful bill.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, so that's why I don't agree with Donald Trump.
The way that reconciliation works, though, that was Congress. That wasn't Donald Trump.
He signed it. He endorsed it. He specifically endorsed the House version and not the original Senate version that they put as a counter introduction that didn't include stripping people off their health care coverage. Isn't that interesting that he specifically endorsed? He specifically endorsed the House version of the bill that included stripping people off of healthcare.
Right, but do you know
Whereas
why he did that?
again, the the
Why would he
Senate
do
bill
that?
didn't include stripping people of their healthcare. Isn't that
I
interesting? So
understand.
no, he made the
I under-
conscious choice
Listen,
to say that he
can I
endorsed the
respond?
version that actually does make people lose their health insurance. So
Can I
it's very
respond? I
interesting.
agree with your viewpoint. Can I respond to it though? So here's the deal. The way the reconciliation process works within our government,
I mean, I'm
it's
aware they tried to
intentionally
break the rules of it. That's why the parliamentarian came in and told them no.
it's intentionally convoluted. There have to be concessions made. No one wanted to spend that much money, but there's only 4 years
Thanks
he
for
had
the
to work
5,
with.
Carl.
Okay, the Obama administration screwed up our health care, and we know this. We had a capitalist market. Does anybody have better health care today than they did 15 years ago? No. Name one person. Where were you 15 years ago? How old were you? Did you even know what health care was? Did you even
I'm
have
pretty
healthcare
sure when
other
you
than your
called
parents?
in, you said you were younger than me, so that's funny.
I'm 38. How old are you?
Oh, never mind. I forgot I didn't ask you for your birth year. I'm only 5 years
I'm-
younger, sir. It's not that big of an age
Okay,
gap.
so I apologize for the presumption, but can you truly say that your health care is better today than it was 15 years ago, than it was 20 years ago? And why? Why is that?
Actually, yes, I was
Obamacare
able to be
socialistic
covered
medicine
under. I
screwed
was
us up.
able to be covered under my father's healthcare insurance up until I was 26 years old, thanks to the initiatives that were added into Obamacare. So, absolutely, my healthcare insurance improved because of the Affordable Care Act that was passed under Obama's term. It's very interesting that
not
anybody would
requiring you
even
to earn
say
your
it's
own
very
way in this
interesting.
world
It's
served
very
you, or did it
interesting. It's
disserve you?
very interesting
Did it
for
disserve
anybody
you?
to say.
So mooching off your father's
It's very
healthcare
interesting
at
for
26
anybody to
years
say
old
that
as an
healthcare
adult
got
who
worse
should
after
be-
the
who should be
ACA was
providing for
enacted.
themselves, who
When
should have a husband
guess what?
providing for
Congress was
herself,
unable
providing that
to
healthcare. Did that
dismantle or
serve
do
you, or did that
away with the
disserve you?
ACA under Donald Trump's first term because guess what?
So it
They
did
knew
serve
that
you.
so
I
many
understand.
people were
I see
going to
now
lose
why you're
health
the
care
person you are.
insurance, and Donald Trump actually didn't have any plan to replace it. And so until there's a plan to replace the ACA, they won't touch it. Like that's with the Republicans owning Congress, right? Even under Donald Trump's first term, the first 2 years, he had the majority in the House and in the Senate. But he didn't actually do anything with it. They tried. They just wanted to completely get rid of the ACA, not even just dismantle parts of it. They wanted to do away with the entire thing. And even Senator John McCain said that they couldn't do it because it was going to adversely affect too many people within the United States of America. And so therefore they couldn't do it. And all Donald Trump has to offer us is concepts of a plan. He said that himself on the debate stage, that he just had concepts of a plan. He didn't have a healthcare plan to replace it in any way, shape, or form.
So that's his fault that he walked into a horrible system? Anytime capitalism is replaced by socialism, it is an inferior product. And that is what you resulted in. Had you been forced to provide health insurance for yourself or find a husband that could provide a job that would provide health insurance for you, would that have served you better? And would you take more ownership and responsibility for your own way in this world other than blaming other people for the problems that you have?
Are you kidding? Like, wait, I'm
Donald
sorry. Did I
Trump.
blame somebody for problems? Did I miss that part?
Absolutely. You've been blaming Donald Trump for your problems this entire time.
I've been
For the
blaming
country's
him
problems
for
this
my
entire time.
problems? No, I've been blaming him for what we're going to see, the adverse side effects of what he did, what his bills are, what his policies
you're so
are.
noble that you're so concerned with everyone else.
Yes,
that's
sir.
why you're complaining, not because it affects you.
Yes, sir.
How noble
Because
of you.
I actually care about other people in this country. I'm not personally on Medicaid. I don't get SNAP or EBT benefits. I don't get Section 8 housing. So therefore, I actually care about the 10 to 17 million American citizens within this country that are going to be adversely affected by the big beautiful bill and the spending cuts that we're going to see to these socialized programs. If you want to say that socialism is bad, then let's be very clear. You must also say that you don't want the police force to exist because that's a socialist program. You don't want paved roads or the Department of Transportation because that's a socialist program. You also don't want public hospitals because that's a socialist program. You also don't want firefighters in this country because that's a socialist program. So, like, you don't like socialism, but yet you're completely engaging with socialist issues.
Do you know
Like,
what
you're
semantics
completely
are?
engaging with socialist programs, and you enjoy them, and you benefit from them. But you don't like socialism,
Back
and
when the
socialism
community
bad.
banded
But what we
together
see
to take
here
care of
in
its
with a
problems
capitalized
instead
healthcare
of
system
depending on the government,
is that
the
it's
country was
actually
in a
not better
situation.
than socialist programs or than universal health care. What we see with universal health care is that, yes, they have wait times, but guess what? I have news for everybody. I don't actually think that it's news for anyone. But when I call for a referral, like when I get a referral, I'm typically not being able to reserve or make that appointment for 6 months or more down the road. If I want a dentist appointment and I'm a new patient, I can't get a dentist appointment for the next 6 to 8 months. It's the same thing, right? Like, it's very interesting, but they want to say stuff about universal health care bad because there are wait times. Did you just slur? Did you just say a slur? Did you just say a slur?
I'm sorry?
Did you just use a slur?
I said if I'm a physician, how is that a slur?
What? No, you didn't say that. What slur did he say, guys? You're going to have to tell me what slur he said. You're going to have
What
to
slur is she talking about? I have 3 people here sitting with me.
Give me the
what slur is
letter.
she talking about?
Give me the letter, Lala. Oh, did you say libtard?
What is she talking about?
Read your chat. Is she not smart enough to know what the word physician means?
I guess she doesn't know what the word physician
No,
is.
I don't think you're understanding the words that I said. Did you say lib, L-I-B-T-A-R-D?
What is she talking about?
What does that even mean?
Not right this second, sir. I'm not saying right this second. Did you say L-I-B-T-A-R-D?
What does that mean?
If you don't have basic, yeah, see, everybody's saying that you can. L-I-B, maybe you need to type this in your keyboard. L-I-B-T-A-R-D. You said it about 2 minutes ago.
Physician is the word that I said. If you are a physician.
Did you say physician 2 years ago? Okay. Oh, goodness. Does he not understand? I gave him, I said, not what you just said in your last sentence. Not what you just said in your last sentence. T-A-R-D is a slur. If you don't understand that that's a slur, then that's a you problem. Maybe you should remove it from your vocabulary. Oh, but guys, you have to remember, did you guys not listen to this? Not only was he like arguing with me, but he was arguing in front of his girlfriend, wife, his partner, and a child. So he was saying all of this hateful rhetoric with an audience. Oh. Yes, Skinny, exactly. I like this comment. He said a lot of things. He also said he was a student of history, but still doesn't know the difference between equity. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Anyways, guys. Chef's kiss. I'm over my time again. So listen. I will see you guys tomorrow. And we'll have some more fun and have some more conversations. I'm sorry if you guys just got here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button. Let's go. But really quickly, TikTok, I'm gonna mute you guys real quick. Okay, I love you. Hold on. All right. Over on YouTube and Twitch, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry if you guys, so like my TikTok understands that there are words that you cannot say on TikTok because they consider it harmful language, and I don't ever want to lose my account. So if you say a slur, oh, I bet, listen, If you don't also realize that 88 is a dog whistle, then that's another issue. Oh, well, thank you, Skinny. Anyways, I'll be back on tomorrow. Best way to know when, join my Discord. Figure out, and I usually try to give up or try to let you guys know when I'm going to be on. All right. So I hope you all have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to become a member. Do appreciate and love y'all so much. Y'all have a great night.